Next Level English Podcast.
You have been invited to someone's home. Maybe it is a colleague, maybe it is a new friend, maybe it is someone you have wanted to impress for a very long time. You arrive at the door, they open it, and in that first moment, the first 5 seconds, the words that come out of your mouth will set the tone for the entire evening. And if those words are wrong, if they are awkward, if they are too stiff or too casual or just completely missing, the whole night carries that weight.
The weight of the wrong first 5 seconds. I have felt that. It follows you all the way to dessert.
All the way to dessert and sometimes home in the car afterwards. Today on Next Level English, we are giving you 20 essential English expressions for every single moment of visiting someone's home. Arriving, complimenting, accepting food and drink, navigating the evening, and leaving in a way that makes them want to invite you back immediately.
Because being a guest is a skill, and like every skill, language is at the center of it.
Welcome to Next Level English. I am Maya.
And I am Tom, and today we are walking through someone's front door together.
Together, which is actually the spirit of this whole episode, because visiting someone's home is one of the most intimate social experiences in any culture. You are entering their private world, their chosen space, the place where they are most themselves.
And how you respond to that world tells them everything about who you are.
Everything. So let us make sure what it tells them is wonderful, starting at the very beginning, the moment you arrive.
You knock or you ring the bell and the door opens, and the very first thing out of your mouth matters more than most people realize.
And the phrase that nails that moment perfectly every single time is, "Thank you so much for having me."
Thank you so much for having me. Say it.
Thank you so much for having me.
To have someone means to welcome them as a guest into your home. It's a warm, specific expression of hosting, and thanking someone for it at the very first second tells them that you recognize the effort, the planning, and the generosity that went into the invitation.
Thank you so much for having me. One more time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And if you are arriving with a gift, which you always should when visiting someone's home in English-speaking culture, the phrase that accompanies it is, "I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it."
I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it. Say it.
I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it.
Simple, warm, no over-explaining, no lengthy speech about what it is or where you got it. Just a genuine offering with a genuine wish. I hope you enjoy it is the warmest 3 words you can attach to a gift.
I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it. Repeat it.
I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it.
Now, the moment you step inside, you will almost certainly see things that are worth noticing. The decor, the space, the warmth of the room. And here's where so many people miss an opportunity. They notice beautiful things and say nothing. Or they say something vague like, "nice place."
Nice place. 2 words that communicate absolutely nothing except that you're there.
Instead, you use a phrase that is specific, genuine, and immediate. What a beautiful home you have.
What a beautiful home you have. Say it.
What a beautiful home you have.
This phrase works because it's complete. It names the space, it uses beautiful, which is a strong, warm adjective, and you have personalizes it directly to them. It's their home, their taste, their creation.
And then you follow it immediately with something specific you noticed, because a specific compliment is worth 10 general ones.
I love what you have done with the living room.
I love what you have done with the living room. Repeat it.
I love what you have done with the living room.
I love what you have done with. This structure works for any space in the house. I love what you have done with the kitchen. I love what you have done with the lighting in here. I love what you have done with this corner of the room.
It tells your host that you looked, that you paid attention, that their space registered as something more than just a backdrop to the evening.
And being seen in your own home is one of the loveliest feelings a host can have. Let's do our first role play right now.
Moving in immediately. Tom opens the door. Maya has just arrived.
Opening the door. Tom, hi. Thank you so much for having me. I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, Maya, you did not have to do that. Come in, come in. Oh, wow, thank you so much.
What a beautiful home you have. I love what you have done with the hallway. The lighting in here is incredible.
Thank you. I've been trying to get it right for months, actually. Come through. Make yourself at home. Make yourself at home. That phrase right there.
Make yourself at home means feel completely comfortable here. Relax. Behave as you would in your own space. It's one of the warmest things a host can say, and recognizing it, reacting warmly to it, shows your host that you received the invitation.
Make yourself at home. Repeat it.
Make yourself at home.
Now let's talk about what happens right after you arrive. The host will almost certainly offer you something to drink. And this is a moment where many English learners either overcomplicate their answer or say something too flat.
The most natural and gracious way to accept a drink offer is, whatever you're having is absolutely fine with me.
Whatever you're having is absolutely fine with me. Say it.
Whatever you're having is absolutely fine with me.
This phrase does something quietly brilliant. It removes the decision entirely from the host's shoulders. You're not giving them a long list of preferences. You're not saying something so specific that they have to search their cupboards for 20 minutes. You're saying, I trust your taste. Whatever you choose is perfect.
And that kind of easy, unpressured response makes hosting feel like a joy rather than a logistics exercise.
Whatever you're having is absolutely fine with me. One more time.
Whatever you're having is absolutely fine with me.
Now, if you do have a preference or a dietary requirement, the graceful way to express it is, if it's not too much trouble, I would love
If it's not too much trouble, I would love Say it.
If it's not too much trouble, I would love
If it's not too much trouble signals that you are aware your request requires something of them. It shows consideration. And I would love is warmer and more personal than I would like or can I have a. Love, that word, does a lot of work in English social situations. I would love a cup of tea. I would love to see the garden. I would love some water, actually. It signals enthusiasm and warmth without being dramatic.
If it's not too much trouble, I would love repeat it.
If it's not too much trouble, I would love Now, let's talk about the dinner table, because if you're visiting someone's home for a meal, the food conversation is central to the entire evening, and the phrase that opens it with the most warmth is said the moment food is served.
The phrase is, this looks absolutely wonderful.
This looks absolutely wonderful. Say it.
This looks absolutely wonderful.
Before a single bite, before any tasting, you look at what your host has prepared and you say, this looks absolutely wonderful, because they spent time on this, they planned it, they cooked it for you, and acknowledging the effort before the outcome is the mark of a truly gracious guest.
This looks absolutely wonderful. One more time.
This looks absolutely wonderful.
And after the first bite, there's one sentence that every host in the world is secretly hoping to hear. The sentence is, this is genuinely delicious.
This is genuinely delicious. Repeat it.
This is genuinely delicious.
Delicious means extraordinarily good in taste, and genuinely, our favorite word in this whole series, makes the compliment land as a real reaction, rather than a polite performance.
This is genuinely delicious. You could follow it with, you'll have to share the recipe with me sometime.
You'll have to share the recipe with me sometime. Say it.
You'll have to share the recipe with me sometime.
Let's do our second role play. We're at the dinner table. Tom has cooked for Maya. The food has just arrived. Placing the plates. Oh, Tom, this looks absolutely wonderful. What is this dish called?
It's a slow-cooked lamb with saffron rice. I've been making it for years. I hope you like lamb.
I love it. This is genuinely delicious. I mean that. This is restaurant quality.
Oh, thank you. That genuinely means a lot.
You'll have to share the recipe with me sometime. Seriously, I would love to try making this.
I would be very happy to. More rice?
If it's not too much trouble, I would love some, yes.
Oh, it's absolutely no trouble at all.
And scene. 3 food phrases completely naturally woven into one dinner table conversation. This looks absolutely wonderful. This is genuinely delicious. You'll have to share the recipe with me sometime. And if it's not too much trouble, I would love some, appearing again perfectly in context.
Every phrase we teach is built to work in real life, not in a classroom, in an actual kitchen, at an actual table with actual people.
Now, let's talk about the middle of the evening, because visiting someone's home is not just about arriving and eating. It's about the hours in between, the conversation, the moments of connection. And there's one phrase that every great guest uses during this time that most English learners don't know.
The phrase is, can I give you a hand with anything?
Can I give you a hand with anything? Say it.
Can I give you a hand with anything?
To give someone a hand means to help them, to offer your assistance. And asking this at the right moment, when your host is clearing plates, when they are moving between kitchen and table, when they are clearly busy, shows that you are not just a passive guest. You are present, you are attentive, you want to contribute.
And most hosts will say, no, please sit down, you are the guest. But the asking is everything. It tells them you see their effort and you value it.
Can I give you a hand with anything? One more time.
Can I give you a hand with anything?
Now let us add a vocabulary word that belongs in every home visit conversation. The word is hospitable.
Hospitable. Hospitable. Hospitable means warm, welcoming, and generous as a host, creating an environment where guests feel comfortable and cared for.
And you can use it directly in conversation. You are such a hospitable host.
You are such a hospitable host. Repeat it.
You are such a hospitable host.
When you say this to someone, you're not just complimenting their food or their home. You are complimenting their character, their warmth, the energy they bring to the act as welcoming people into their space.
Hospitable. Say it.
Hospitable.
And the noun form is hospitality. Hospitality. Hospitality means the generous and warm reception and entertainment of guests.
And it sounds like this. Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening.
Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening. Say that.
Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening.
This is one of the most elegant things you can say at the end of a home visit. It sums up everything, the food, the warmth, the effort, the care, in one beautiful word.
Hospitality. One more time.
Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening.
Now, let us talk about something that comes up regularly during home visits and that most people navigate very awkwardly in English: being offered more food when you are already full.
The eternal dilemma of the second serving.
You do not want to be rude, but your stomach has clearly submitted its final answer.
The phrase that declines gracefully, warmly, and without any awkwardness is, I am absolutely full, but everything was incredible. I could not manage another bite.
I am absolutely full, but everything was incredible. I could not manage another bite. Say it.
I am absolutely full, but everything was incredible. I could not manage another bite.
Notice the structure. You don't just say no, you close with a compliment. I'm full, but everything was incredible softens the refusal completely, and I could not manage another bite is a gentle, almost humorous acknowledgement that the issue is simply capacity, not desire.
I could not manage another bite. That phrase alone.
I could not manage another bite. Repeat it.
I could not manage another bite.
Because the host needs to know the refusal is a compliment in disguise. You can't eat more because what you already ate was so good you had too much of it.
That's the best kind of problem to have at a dinner party.
Truly. Now, let us move toward the end of the evening, because leaving someone's home is just as important as arriving. The goodbye sets the final impression, and the final impression is the one that lasts.
The first thing you say when you're preparing to leave should never be abrupt. You don't just stand up and say, right, I'm off. You ease into the departure, and the phrase that does this gracefully is, I'm afraid I should probably make a move.
I'm afraid I should probably make a move. Say it.
I'm afraid I should probably make a move.
I'm afraid here doesn't mean you're scared. In English, I'm afraid is a polite way of introducing something slightly disappointing, like I regret to say. And I should probably make a move means it's time for me to begin leaving.
Probably makes it gentle, not abrupt, not sudden, just a soft signal that the evening is drawing to a close.
I'm afraid I should probably make a move. One more time.
I'm afraid I should probably make a move.
And once you've said that, there's a sequence of phrases that closes the evening in the most warm, memorable, gracious way possible, starting with, I've had the most wonderful evening.
I've had the most wonderful evening. Repeat it.
I've had the most wonderful evening.
Most wonderful. Not just a good evening, the most wonderful. That superlative is important. It tells your host that this evening stood out, that it wasn't routine, that it was something.
And you follow it immediately with the gratitude phrase we saved for this moment. Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening. It truly meant a lot.
thank you so much for your hospitality this evening. It truly meant a lot. Say that.
Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening. It truly meant a lot.
It truly meant a lot. 4 words that carry the entire weight of a generous evening. They tell your host about what they did for you registered, that it did not go unnoticed or unappreciated.
It truly meant a lot. One more time.
It truly meant a lot.
And then the very last thing you say as you step out the door is our final phrase of the entire episode.
Pause. The phrase is, we must do this again soon.
We must do this again soon. Say it.
We must do this again soon.
Must. Not should, not maybe, must. It's the strongest positive modal in English. It expresses necessity, enthusiasm, and real intention all at once.
And we must do this again soon doesn't just close the evening, it opens the next one. It tells your host that this was so good, it deserves a repeat, that you're already looking forward to the next time before this time has even ended.
We must do this again soon. One final time.
We must do this again soon.
Let's do our final role play. The end of the evening. Maya is preparing to leave Tom's home.
Tom, I'm afraid I should probably make a move. I have an early start tomorrow.
Already? The evening went so fast.
I know. I've had the most wonderful evening, truly. The food, the conversation, everything.
I'm so glad you came. It was lovely having you.
Can I give you a hand with clearing anything before I go?
Absolutely not. You are the guest. Leave it to me.
You are such a hospitable host, Tom. Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening. It truly meant a lot.
It was my pleasure. Genuinely.
We must do this again soon.
As soon as possible.
And scene.
Did you feel the warmth in that entire goodbye? No awkwardness, no rushed exit, just a graceful, warm, beautiful close to an evening.
And every phrase in that scene is now yours. Let's make sure of it with our final full recap.
Thank you so much for having me. Your very first words at the front door.
I brought this for you. I hope you enjoy it. The gift phrase that opens with generosity.
What a beautiful home you have. The arrival compliment that makes a host feel seen.
I love what you have done with the specific compliment that tells your host you actually looked.
Make yourself at home. The host phrase that means feel completely comfortable here.
Whatever you're having is absolutely fine with me. The effortless drink acceptance that removes pressure from your host.
If it's not too much trouble, I would love, the graceful way to express a specific preference.
This looks absolutely wonderful, said before the first bite, honoring the effort behind the meal.
This is genuinely delicious. The highest compliment a guest can pay a cook.
You'll have to share the recipe with me sometime. The praise that says the food was so good you want it in your own life.
Can I give you a hand with anything? The attentive guest phrase that shows you see your host's effort.
Hospitable, warm, welcoming, and generous as a host.
You are such a hospitable host. The character compliment that means more than any food compliment.
Hospitality, the generous and warm reception of guests.
Thank you so much for your hospitality this evening. The elegant, all-encompassing gratitude phrase.
I could not manage another bite. The warm, gentle, flattering way to decline a second serving.
I'm afraid I should probably make a move. The graceful, soft departure signal.
I've had the most wonderful evening. The closing that tells your host this was something special.
It truly meant a lot. 4 words that carry the entire weight of a generous evening.
We must do this again soon. The final phrase, the one that closes an evening and opens the next one.
20 expressions, every moment of a home visit covered, from the front door to the goodbye.
You're never the awkward guest again, never the one who stands there saying nothing when something beautiful is right in front of them.
You arrive with warmth, you eat with grace, you leave with elegance, and you make your host feel like the whole evening was worth every moment of preparation.
Because with the right words, it always is.
Subscribe to Next Level English because every week we bring you the English that makes your real life richer, warmer, and more connected.
And Tom, you are such a hospitable host.
In a podcast, in a completely virtual podcast. She said it.
Every single time. See you at the next level. Bye.
Bye.